Pinacho, 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 Pinacho.
Over the last 2 years, the Orlando Magic have scrapped and clawed their way through the regular season and returned to the playoffs. Head coach Steve Clifford has come in and built the team around their defense. They have been a top 10 defense in the league since Clifford took over in 2018. But after making the back end of the playoffs for 2 years in a row, you start to ask the question of, will this team end up in no man's land? The Magic season again ended with a 4-1 defeat against a heavily favored team at the top of the Eastern Conference. Making the playoffs is always the goal, but if you're consistently a 7th or 8th seed, is that the position you really want to be in? The Magic making the playoffs as an 8th seed in the Eastern Conference really wasn't that much of an accomplishment with the amount of bad teams at the bottom. Veteran players like Nikola Vucevic, Evan Fournier, and DJ Augustin has been the guys that the team has leaned on over the last couple of years. But it will be the development of the young guys on this team on if they will improve or fall by the wayside. This team has been snake bitten by the injury bug. That's one of the main reasons why this team seems to be stuck right now. The 2019-20 season was a brutal one for Jonathan Isaac in terms of injury issues. On New Year's Day against the Washington Wizards, he had to leave on a stretcher after an injury to his knee. The suspension of the season because of the pandemic was a big reason why he was able to return last season. Isaac is the best defensive player on this team, and his offense has been coming around lately. He has improved each season since being selected by Orlando with the 6th overall pick in 2017. His progressions could have been a lot further by this time if he didn't miss so much time because of injury. When he returned to the NBA bubble at the end of July, he suffered another injury, and this injury was a really bad one. He tore his ACL against the Sacramento Kings in the second seeding game and will miss the entire 2021 season. One of the most important players on the team will not be on the floor for the Magic this season. Isaac is still on his rookie deal, and he is scheduled to be a restricted free agent next summer. And you wonder how much a team like Orlando will be willing to give a guy who has never been able to stay healthy since being drafted. Another young player who has been held back in his development because of injuries is another 6th overall pick in Mo Bamba. But the injuries are only part of the reason why his progression has been so slow. I believe a lot of people knew it would take some time for him to get adjusted to the NBA because of his small frame and lack of physicality. He was a raw prospect with amazing physical attributes coming out of the University of Texas. He still has to work on his fundamentals, and he really doesn't have a good feel for the game. You can see the impact he could have occasionally when he steps out and hit a 3-point shot or comes up with a great shot block on the other end. But he hasn't been able to impact the game consistently when he gets playing time. Like Isaac, he has had some injuries that has kept him from getting more minutes, and he is expected to miss the start of this season because he's dealing with symptoms from COVID-19 despite nearly 5 months passing since his positive test. You would have thought when the Magic drafted Bamba so high that Nikola Vucevic would eventually be out the door. Vucevic has seemed to improve his game and is looked at as one of the best all-around offensive big men in the league. It looks like it will never come to a point where the Magic choose Bamba over Vucevic. Bamba just has too much ground to cover, and I could see the Magic giving up on him when he becomes a restricted free agent. Nobody has had a more strange start to a career as a #1 pick than Markelle Fultz. His mysterious shoulder injury affected his jump shot physically and mentally, and he lost confidence in his entire game. The Magic traded for him before the trade deadline in February of 2019. In his first full season with the Magic, he displayed the elements of his game that the scouts were excited about in his freshman season at Washington. Fultz is still not a good shooter at this point, but he's able to push the pace on offense, finish at the rim, make good passes, and play great on defense. Maybe he'll never live up to the hype of being a #1 pick, but he still can be a starter in this league if he can pick off where he left off last season. Injuries has really made it hard for the Magic to truly evaluate which players play well together and which players they need to trade away because maybe the fit isn't right. I don't think the fit with Gordon and Isaac is a good one. Both are not good jump shooters at this point, and their best position is at power forward. There's been speculation about Aaron Gordon being traded for a while, but with the injury to Isaac, I believe the Magic might hold off on that for the time being. Markelle Fultz pushing the pace has really helped a player like Aaron Gordon on offense. Gordon three-point shooting took a step back to 31% last season. Pushing the pace didn't only help Gordon, it helped the whole offense. Before the All-Star break last season, the Magic had one of the worst offenses in the league. But after, the Magic offense seemed to be clicking on all cylinders, scoring 117.8 points per 100 possessions. It was really frustrating for this team when the NBA suspended the season because of how well they were playing. The more confidence that Markelle Fultz played with, the better the team played. The team seemed to move faster and get in their sets quicker. Last year's first-round pick Chuma Okeke would finally make his debut with the team this season. He had suffered a torn ACL in the NCAA tournament, and the Magic sat him out for the entire season last year. Just like Isaac, I believe Okeke's skill set overlaps Aaron Gordon's skill set. Okeke's best position, in my opinion, is at the 4 spot. He's probably a better shooter than Gordon, but he's a smart cutter and can finish at the rim. Okeke was very impactful on defense in college, and that will be the reason why he gets minutes early in his career. His outside shooting will most likely be the reason if he can coexist with Aaron Gordon or Jonathan Isaac. Rookie Cole Anthony and Michael Carter-Williams will battle for the backup point guard spot, and Dwayne Bacon will provide some offense for a team that really needs it. Bacon has the offensive talent. It's the efficiency that has been a problem for him. Last season he shot 35% from the field and 28% from 3. But he has had some great performances in the G League, and for the Magic's sake, hopefully it can translate to the NBA game. There's a lot of teams in the East that got better, and it'll be hard for the Magic to maintain their place in the conference. Without their best defensive player in Jonathan Isaac, I don't believe their defense will be as strong as it has been the last couple of years, and I don't think their offense will make up for that. I have the Magic finishing in 10th place with a record of 33-39. The loss of Jonathan Isaac was a major blow for this team. He was just coming into his own as an overall basketball player, and much like most of the young players on this team, injuries have stunted their growth. Vucevic is still the Magic's best player, but I don't believe he has enough help offensively for this team to make another playoff run.